If you've been watching my videos for any length of time, you probably know I keep a Microsoft Access database running on what I lovingly refer to as my quote-unquote server machine. It's not a real server, it's basically a copy of Windows 10 just sitting in the corner doing background work like a dedicated crewman who never sleeps. This machine runs on a 24-hour loop and does all kinds of automated tasks for me. It sends out emails using my email seminar template. It runs backups using my backup template. It runs some other scheduled routines and basically keeps the business humming along. Now, for years, I've noticed something annoying. If I don't reboot that machine at least once a week, Access starts getting weird. I get out-of-stack space errors, random instability, and strange behavior that just magically disappears after a reboot. And I always assumed it was Windows being Windows, so I decided to run an experiment. So back on January 15th, I changed my routine. So it's been running for about 3 weeks now. The nightly backup runs. Then I force kill the MSACCESS.EXE process. I showed how to do that in this video. And that runs automatically 3 nights a week. And guess what? Since I started doing that, I haven't gotten a single one of those weird errors. And to put that in perspective, before this, if I didn't reboot at least once a week, by day 7, I'd start getting errors without question, like clockwork. If I went on vacation longer than a week, I had to remote in and reboot the machine. So what does this tell me? It strongly suggests that Access, or something in my environment, leaks memory over time. And simply closing the database and restarting it isn't enough. Because here's the key part. My database already closes and restarts itself every 30 minutes in its loop. In fact, some of you have heard it in the background. I have it do that enterprise transporter sound. And I say, oh, someone's beaming in. That's my database rebooting itself every half hour. And the problem is, if MSACCESS.EXE never dies, something is clearly sticking around in memory. Now, to be fair, this could be my code's fault. My database has been evolving for about 20 years. It's huge. It does a lot. And 20 years ago, Rick did not have today's Rick's coding skills. So I'm not saying it's perfect. It's more like Scotty's engine room with bypasses everywhere like a Christmas tree. Duct tape, baling wire, and the whole deal. And that's why one of my favorite lines in class is, if you said it, you gotta forget it. I'm sure I've forgotten to forget some things in my code somewhere. But regardless of whether the leak is Access itself or my Franken-database, the results are real. Killing MSACCESS.EXE a few times a week seems to prevent most of these cumulative errors. So if you're running long-term Access automation, especially on a machine that's up 24/7, consider scheduling a full Access process kill, not just closing and restarting the database. It might save you a lot of creeping weirdness later. Live long and prosper, my friends.